you, Brother Jeff, for that wonderful, brilliant. So last week when I was in town, my family asked me if I was coming back for the funeral. I told them I would come back for the funeral. They asked me to say a few remarks, a few special remarks. So now I'll give my special remarks. Dr. Peter Marshall, in his sermon, Go Down Death, tells a brilliant story of a young man who had terminal cancer and was dealing with his mother. And one night when his mother was reading him a bedtime story, telling him the tales of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, the young man looked at his mother and he asked her a question that she had been dreading him asking. And he said, "Mama, what's it like to die? Does it hurt?" And her not wanting her son to see her break down in tears, she made up an excuse to leave the room. She went to the kitchen, and when she went to the kitchen, she fell on her knees and she began to pray that God would give her the words that she could give to her baby to provide him with some sort of comfort. God spoke to her, and after God spoke to her, she went back into the room and she did what all good mothers do. And she shared with her baby what God had shared with her. And she told her son, she said, "Baby, do you remember when we went to the park last weekend and you began to play?" He said, "Yeah, Mom, I remember that." She said, "Do you remember how tired you got after playing all day?" He said, "Yeah, Mama, I remember getting tired." She said, "Well, after you got tired, you were so tired that in the car ride home, you fell asleep." She said, "But although you fell asleep in the car, the next morning when you woke up, you were in your bed." She said, "That's because while you were sleeping, your father picked you up, secured you in his arms, and took you from the car where you did not belong to the bed where you did belong." She said, "That's what it's like when we die." She said, "These bodies get tired. And when these bodies get tired, we go to sleep. But while we are sleeping, our Father who is in heaven picks us up and secures us in his arms, and then takes us from this earthly home where we do not belong to our heavenly home where we do belong." And that's all that happened last week was Amy got tired. And after 53 years of being married to the same man that deserves a right to be tired, after 88 years of living, that's a right to be tired. After raising 8 children and a host of grandchildren, that deserves to be tired. After getting all those degrees, that will make a person tired. After working at the post office for over 30 years, that will make a person tired. So she got tired. But while she was sleeping, our God who sits high and looks low picked her up and he took her from this earthly home where she does not belong to her heavenly home where she does belong. And the reason why we celebrate that is because in our earthly home where we do belong, that's the land of no more being tired, no more sickness, no more disease, no more illness, no more rumors, no more folk talking about you, no more trying to loan folk money who you know won't pay you back. The land of no more. And that's why we're happy. And that's why we celebrate. Because she's made it to the land of no more. And I would be remiss if I did not do this because I didn't fly all the way from London just to give a few remarks. I came to give a couple remarks. So here goes my second remark. My second remark is I only wore a pink tie twice in my entire life. The first time was at my grandmother's funeral. Today is the second time. And can't you see Amy and Grandmama right now looking down with their bad hats on? And my grandmother told me, she said, "Don't cheat them, but tell them the same story you told at my funeral." So I ain't gonna cheat you, but I'm gonna give you the same story for my second remark, and then I'll be done. And that goes that
That Dr. D.K. King tells the story of a sister who recognized that God was the source of everything. And Dr. D.E. King said that when he was pastoring in Memphis, that she invited him to a graduation ceremony. And when she invited him to the graduation ceremony, it was for her daughter. And Dr. D.E. King said that when they sat down, that mother, before they even sat down, hollered out, "Nobody but you, Jesus." Dr. D.E. King said that he looked at her and he said, "Ma'am, don't you know that we are at an academic occasion? And because we're at an academic occasion, we must govern ourselves accordingly." Then that single mother looked at him and said, "Do you know everything I've been through?" Dr. King said, "I recognize everything you've been through." She said, "Then why don't you join me, baby?" Nobody but you, Jesus. Dr. D.E. King said that then that daughter began to walk up to stage because she was about to receive her degree. And Dr. D.E. King said that with every step that daughter took, that mother hollered out, "Nobody but you, Jesus. Nobody but you, Jesus. Nobody but you, Jesus. Nobody but you, Jesus." Dr. D.E. King said everybody knew that was that girl's mother, and that girl began to get embarrassed. But even though that little girl was embarrassed, that mother kept on hollering out, "Nobody but you, Jesus. Nobody but you, Jesus." Dr. D.E. King said they then called her name out for her to receive her degree. And Dr. D.E. King said that when that daughter began to walk across that stage, it then began to dawn upon her all the sleepless nights that mother spent working so that she could go to school. Dr. D.E. King said that daughter thought about all the sacrifices that mother had made. And then that daughter began to have tears streaming down her face. And as soon as she took the degree with one hand, shook the president's hand with the other hand, she locked eyes with her mama. And before her mother could say it, that daughter said, "Nobody but you, Jesus." What was it that allowed her to sit off the school? I'll tell you what it was. It was nobody but you, Jesus. And the only way you'll get through this, the only way you'll stay together